Mission 7 is pure movement heavy. I still have a hard time beating my best time in this segment. The first movement you're going to see here is that you need to nail down these double jumps perfectly. What you need to do is to align Dante correctly and pay attention for the inputs on how the jumps are being done. If you notice something weird about my tutorial making so far, is that some of the footage have been recorded on my extremely old laptop that's like I think 6 years old or something. That's why some of the stuff you see like 504p or some of them are 72p. The sphere cycle is very important. You need to complete the sphere cycle so you could come back here later to grab Flameheart. Flameheart is one of the most broken elements in this game. It gives you a massive DPS boost. Once you activate that as you're going downstairs, try to align yourself correctly while doing the movement here. You need to make sure that Dante is keeping rolling forward there. I'll explain why you shouldn't grab Flameheart now, along with the other weapon, once we reach to the elevator room. This is why. This is why you need to hold up from grabbing the Flameheart. It's because the elevator will keep scrolling down as you go back all the way to grab the Flameheart and Vendetta sword. Just note that when you grab Vendetta sword, you don't need to equip here. You can equip it on the next mission. Another reason is because Vendetta has extremely short range, and this mission is the last chance where you can get the orb currency as much as you can. And yes, that includes the orb manipulation. Without doubt right here, you don't need to refill your DT gauge in full, you just need to pick up a little bit before you proceed to flying to grab the Flame Heart. There is actually a quick way of grabbing Flameheart here, but I haven't dared to use in my run because I lose a lot of time if I fail it. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of timing. I wouldn't recommend you to do that, but this is nice to know in the future for reference once you want to optimize this game even further, like let's just say if you break beyond sub 44. It's better to DT run here, by the way, rather than rolling. It's really about the same speed. DT is a lot easier while rolling you need to manage here. On the top of that, on the next room, you're going to fly across the elevator room rather than rolling all the way through. See, that's the result. You're just going to yeet through the elevator and you're immediately going to jump through the train section auto-scroller. For this fight, you can do whatever you want. The safest way to approach this is to maintain Showtime style rank while grabbing all these orbs, which guarantee you an S rank by the end of this mission. However, the riskier approach, which is the orb manipulation, requires you to at least have close to 30k. The reason why orb manipulation strat is very important for this game is because in later mission you're going to have one extra double star advantage. This can be said the same with the save strat if you got extremely lucky with a chopper by managing to save one devil star that you've been given at the beginning of the game. The choice is yours, but personally I recommend you to go well with an S rank maintains showtime. And watch out for these hidden pesky Misras because they can just hit you out of nowhere and you lose your style rank. You can also take a grab of your water, chill out, drink, talk to your cat or etc. That's why this mission is kind of chill, but kind of not at the same time. The last thing you need to worry about this mission is literally the fire bats, on how you're going to time your jump from here at the elevator. Unfortunately, This elevator has the invincible wall, so the only way to skip this extra movement, you just need to time your jump accordingly during that. Remember when we talked about million stab at the gorilla strat? Yes, that is the strat for the next mission. You need to practice that well. Before you start off on mission 8, upgrade Vendetta and buy a purple orb at the same time before you jump into the mission. And while you're in the mission, equip Vendetta. One of the most common mistakes in this fight is when you time your DT and human form correctly, along with how much you could mash during this fight. So pay attention on how the million stab method is done. There is actually some of the exception where this bull can mess you up, such as doing his jump pattern. This strat is extremely good, mostly because you get a guaranteed S rank if you done it right, which means if your orb route is messed up, you can get back right with this track. There is a faster approach, and that's basically instead of doing million stab all the time, you only need to do million stab 3 times, and followed by that, you're going to spam a round trip. This is slightly faster by like 3 seconds, I think. It's not that big of a difference. It's only endgame stuff. Or maybe even more. It's been a long time since I've used this strat, especially when I'm in a good orb route pace. Finally, for the end of this segment, we're going to cover Capcom Escape. Again, that's pure movement section. The first thing you need to pay attention here is how I time my jumping for the air hike when I descend down. Coming up, you're going to grab the Elephant's Heart. With the Elephant's Heart, your terms of damage is set. You have all the things that you need. The reason why you also grab Elephant's Heart in this mission, rather than earlier with Vendetta, is because you get double trigger advantage in terms of movement here. First example, we're going to use air raid to fly through from here. And instead of taking the staircase, you're also going to use air raid to fly up. The sphere cycle here is so easy to forget. What you need to understand is that the first 2 spheres that you're going to hit here, you don't need to override your lock on. The last sphere you're going to hit, you need to manually disable your lock on by holding R2. Now for the last one movement here, use your air brake to fly across. If you're good at getting the ground here, you can still keep the DT to keep running until the end of the mission. The plane entrance here can be a little bit tricky to get in. If you can't jump in through immediately, you can just DT run across. Skip picking up the rocket launcher because you'll never ever need it in this one. After you get through this, the broken fan, you're done with Capcom Escape, and you're done with Ouroboros Factory segment. Hope you learned something, hope it was extremely easy to understand, along with the movement. The next segment will be runes.